So, hello and welcome to our 5-star recruitment discussion. So, if you're thinking about becoming a mortgage broker or you're a mortgage broker and you're wondering what it's like at 5-star, I have 3 of our stars. Well, Marta, the founder that came up with this idea in
And the name?
2016, and the name, Petra, who joined us, when did you join?
2017.
2017. Gold watch coming soon. And Tracy,
2019.
2019. So
Wow.
3 of our longest serving and most experienced advisors here to share their stories. So Marta, you start. Where did the name come from?
I don't know. I think it's the 5-star service, isn't it? I was driving thinking what we're going to call ourselves. And I was thinking, wow, everyone wants to stay in a 5-star hotel. So why would they not want a 5-star mortgage?
And Dan Hobbs played a little trick on you, didn't he?
He did. He called it, why is it not 6-star? So mortgages, isn't it? So I was like, nope.
Dan Hobbs of New Leaf Distribution, who is
Yeah.
our regulator.
Yeah.
So what made you then start the business then, Marta? What made you want to become a mortgage broker in the first place?
Funny story, really. I was in lettings initially, so I was working for a estate agent, quite a big one, and we were doing a lot of lettings. And as you can guys tell, probably from my accent, I'm Polish, so we had so many Polish clients at some point that wanted to buy a property. Okay, but the problem was the mortgage broker didn't really speak Polish, and there was a bit of a communication gap. So very often I just sat in the appointment and help Claire, who was a mortgage broker in the branch, to just translate. So I was doing more and more and more, and then eventually I was like, wow, this is really cool, this is great. You're going to help people to go on a property ladder, to buy a house. This is exciting, and very positive experience compared to a bit negative experience when you're in lettings and deal with the problems all the time.
Yeah.
So it just kind of collided with me going on maternity leave. So I just hit the books, did my exams. So you need to be qualified, CMAP 1, 2 and 3. I did that. And then when I was ready after maternity leave, I
I'm back as a mortgage broker.
yeah, absolutely, with zero experience. So yeah, I think it's just like I was quite excited about being part of someone's journey of getting on a property ladder. That's what I really found fascinating.
And you still love first-time
I
buyers?
love a first-time buyer. Absolutely love a first-time buyer.
Favourite type of
Yeah.
clients? And Petra, what was your journey then? What made you decide to become a mortgage broker?
With me, it all started when I bought my first property.
Yeah.
I then realized at that time how important is the role of a mortgage broker, and I wanted to be that person that makes the difference and help people buying their first house or their first investment. It can be quite a daunting process for someone that never done it before, and I wanted to be the person that made it different and easier.
Yeah. So you want to helping people and sharing,
Yes.
like with Marta, sharing the excitement of
Exactly.
getting
Yes.
someone into their first home.
Yes.
And like Marta dealt with a lot of Polish people to begin with, but you're now multicultural, aren't you?
I know.
You've started mainly in the Romanian, but now you're dealing with more and more English
Exactly, yeah,
native
same.
speakers.
Yes, most of my clients are Romanian as well, but obviously we deal with anyone. And even if the Romanian people are speaking English, you always feel better when you speak to someone in your own language, regardless of how well you
Yeah.
speak English.
Yeah, definitely.
Gives them that confidence that they're understood properly.
Yeah. And Tracy, so you're what
Mine was a little bit of a different kind of journey, wasn't it? So I was a sales office manager in a different company for 20 years. So I'd done a lot of the customer servicey kind of thing, so dealing with customers from all across the world. And that's the bit that I loved. So I love talking to people. I love helping people. Sometimes had to deal with challenges in the business as well. So I quite like overcoming a challenge, which is absolutely something we do a lot as a mortgage broker.
Yeah.
The opportunity arose for me to leave the previous company, and I was talked into, do you want to try a mortgage advisor, see what you think? And never looked back. I love it. I think just the sense of achievement, maybe when you've got a tricky case and you get that over the line and you help that client with something. And like you say, even first time buyers, just helping people realise their dreams, aren't you really?
Yeah, I do. Remember that feeling when I was broker. I used to remember very much a client coming in and they have been told no, even by other mortgage brokers sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you find the solution, and you think inside, yeah, I'm definitely a mortgage guru.
Yeah,
Achievement,
yeah.
isn't it?
Do you know what?
Absolutely. Love
It is
that.
great. It is great feeling, isn't it? And it's just kind
it
of
is.
also when you're broker, you just always have to think outside the box.
You do, yeah.
True.
And
So
I
this
think-
is one of the
yeah.
skills of
Yeah.
to be a good broker. You need to be a bit of a problem solver. Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
absolutely. And no
Definitely.
is never a no. Don't take no
Yeah.
as a final answer. So I think good broker would carry on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And work with you to a solution, whatever that may be.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So you've got to have that desire to find a solution, the intelligence to be able to go out there and find solutions.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make it
But also,
possible.
and don't give up, isn't it? Just
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the never give up attitude.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're all established mortgage brokers, and you all. So Marta, you started employed and then went self-employed.
Yep.
And Petra and Tracy, you both started as
Self-employed.
self-employed.
Yeah.
Yes.
So tell us, what was it like to start as a self-employed mortgage brokerage? How did you find it?
I mean, initially, I don't know about you, Petra. Initially, I was a little bit scared, honestly, because you just think you're starting from scratch. I didn't have the knowledge of or experience of being a mortgage broker before. My job was vastly different, although helping people and dealing with customers all day long. Just knowing that you've got to build up that client base, but actually, I think if you work with a good company and a good team, it makes a massive difference because
Yeah.
you get a lot of experience. And actually, those initial days, it gives you time to work on trickier cases because you've got the time to spend on really tricky cases.
Yeah.
And I learned so much from my first couple of cases were, really heavy kind of debt con cases, people with tricky income, and things that now we would be fine with. And at the time, I didn't really know, but I was able to spend the time doing those. And actually now, debt con cases, I think they don't scare me. I know who to go
This is
to now, lender-wise.
Somebody
I know.
that comes in with a lot of debts and a mortgage, and they want to consolidate it all into a
Absolutely,
mortgage.
yeah. People
bread and
credit-
butter for
that's
Tracy
credit
Scott
history.
these
I mean,
days.
there's things. Yeah, once you've done them once, and you've got, and I think having one of my first mortgages was a debt consolidation. People had some issues with adverse, and I think having got that over the line, it gave me the confidence to know actually if I can do that, I could probably do a lot of these really basic mortgages as well. And I think then it's just it's picking up clients, isn't it? And it's as time goes on, you deal with clients, they come back again for remortgages, they start recommending you to people, and I think that makes a massive difference, doesn't it, when you get to that stage.
Yeah.
True.
And all three of you started with younger children, right?
Yes.
Yes. I
Or
think that
Mum's
was
Club, wasn't it? Yeah.
So when you started your careers, you all had young children,
Yeah.
and you basically fitted the career around. So give us an example.
Yeah. So I was just going to say there is few more ladies working with 5-star, and I think literally every single one of us had children or still has young children, basically. So it's kind of being self-employed. What I really like is the fact that if you want to go to your child's assembly, you can do.
Yeah.
You just want to take your child swimming or football club or whatever, you just do it, and you work around you've got your own schedule, basically. You're not
You're your own
chained to your
master.
desk
Yeah.
9 till 5, and then
Yeah.
most of clients, I'll be honest with you, really want to see outside of their working hours. So for us, that was just perfect because I had time during the day to do what I wanted to do, and then I personally quite like working in the evenings when it's quiet, and it is very flexible. And I think it's a lifestyle choice really to be a broker, isn't it? So I think
yeah.
And so because you had younger children, you've kind of designed the business around school holidays.
yes, we don't do any. So for instance, I know it's a bit off track, but for the brokers, we organise like BDM meetings. So business development manager would come to the office, or
You get a
meet us,
lender
the lender,
representative
yeah.
comes out and educates
So let's
you.
say we organise meetings, and I do high street. Tracy does commercial lenders. We do insurance as well. So all these, they're gonna stop during half term and holidays. So it is very much, we understand kids are important, family is important. So I'm not gonna be like expecting people to be in the office to seeing the lenders or be chained to the desk
Because Petra, you like to go off to
Yes.
sunnier climates throughout most
I
of
love
the time.
my holidays. Yeah, just like Marta and Tracy said, that was the main reason I chose to be self-employed. Even though when I started, I wanted an employed role to have that certainty, that income. But then I soon realized I don't want to do 9 to 5. And you realize it's not actually 9 to 5, it's more like 8, 9.
Yeah.
And I've started as a self-employed just because of the flexibility. And like Tracy said, in the beginning, you always get the tricky cases, and once you do those, then you become an expert. And it's all recommendation and obviously leads from our firm. So if you're looking for a flexible role, definitely I would advise to get into this.
So your top tip you just mentioned there about referrals and what have you. So one of the things that I think all of the 5-star team do is they build their client bank by just doing an amazing job for
Exactly.
the clients and asking those clients to just pass on the good experience they've had, and that's
Definitely.
where most of your business is
clients
coming
do
from.
come back, and then you get 5 brothers, and all of them
Yeah.
at some point they
Work
do the
your way through
mortgage
the family.
too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Help people
interesting.
and their
yeah.
children when they're old enough come back to you, don't they?
Yeah. Even workplaces. I had someone who worked in certain workplace, and then all their colleagues from work
Yes.
start coming, and I'm like,
Then
wow.
you know the income
Yeah.
inside out.
You
Yeah.
know the
To know
pay
them.
slips by heart, isn't it? Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. So I think it's interesting what you said, Mark, because obviously we as a firm don't really do any promotional work or advertising, but I think looking at everyone's busy, everyone gets clients. We literally have people phoning the office and asking, is there someone from your team who can deal with your mortgage?
Yeah.
So we are, because I am so extremely proud of everyone that works here, because everyone does amazing job. It's not just this is your mortgage, off you go, like you often get in the estate agent, no offense, or someone can help you in the bank. We would literally hold clients' hands throughout the whole process
Yeah.
and make sure that relationship is there, isn't it?
So it's coming back into the reward. So that's cool. So Tracy and Marta, you just like jumped straight 2 feet into being a self-employed and being 100%
Certainly did.
reliant on that income
Yes,
from
I
day
did,
one.
yeah.
Uh,
With
and I
0 clients, yeah.
I remember that. That was brave. Petra, you took a slightly different route, didn't you? I don't know how
Yes.
you did this, but
Yeah, I still kept my employed role, and I was doing this on a side on weekends, evenings, because I wasn't 100% sure. I wanted to go self-employed. I still wanted to have an income, like a certain income. So, but soon after, I realized I can't keep going this way.
I
And
mean,
then-
we were amazed. We always used to say, Petra's been doing this for over a year. She's got a full-time job,
Yes.
2 young children, looking after her husband, and still doing a mortgage
Smashed
broker
it as
job.
well. You've done
I would
amazing.
lie if I say it was easy, but it was
must have.
worth it.
But now, but once you made that jump, once you left that security blanket behind, how did that change your income and your professionalism? How did it? Not so much professionalism.
Yes,
but-
of course, it did change the income, but it kind of changed my attitude to business.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted this done. And like Marta said, I wouldn't take no for an answer. I would fight for that client, because I know if that client gets the mortgage, I get paid,
Yeah.
and so on and so on. So kind of changed me as a person a little bit. Not taking no for an answer
Yeah.
on some cases that I knew we could do them.
Because you're mentoring one of the new advisors at the moment, Marta, who's just weaning herself off employment, isn't she? So-
Yes, the same kind of similar situation. So someone's who was employed, and I understand it's a shock of your life basically to come from a certain income to
Yeah.
onto self-employment. So someone's obviously that was employed now is part-time, and very soon will give up that.
Because she's fine, isn't she?
Yeah.
So, I mean, on that note, just to close that one down, I remember sitting in a pub with my friend who was a mortgage broker, and he was a couple of years ahead of me in the game, and he had just gone self-employed. And I was scratching my head. I was like, this is crazy what you're doing. How do you know you're going to get paid at the end of the month? Right? And he just said to me, Mark, it's a massive step to go from employed to self-employed, but I can tell you now, it's impossible to go back.
I agree. I totally agree.
We had
Yeah.
that conversation earlier,
100%.
didn't we? Yeah.
Well,
Wouldn't be able
imagine
to go
if
back to
someone
employed
asked you
now.
to go back as an employed advisor.
No.
I don't think anyone
way.
would. Anyone would.
And that is because of the
The
flexibility.
rewards, the
Flexibility,
flexibility.
yeah.
Yeah. So,
Definitely.
So I was going to play a game, but we're having such a lovely conversation. should we just work through some of the extra things that we do at Five Star? Yeah. So we've talked about why would somebody want to be a mortgage broker, or in fact, before why 5 Star, we've made it sound very rosy. There are some downsides
are
to
some
being a
downsides.
mortgage
Of
broker,
course.
isn't there? So let's just share the downsides as well. What like there is. People let you down, lenders let you down,
Yeah. Yeah.
solicitors mess things up for you.
Yep.
It's a battle,
Estate
isn't it?
agents.
Yeah, sometimes
Estate.
things that are out of your control, isn't it? And that's frustrating.
Yeah,
because
you'll spend
you've got
hours
no-
with a client and then estate agent will come and steal your business from you.
Yes.
Main
Yeah.
one,
Yeah.
Yeah.
if it happens.
Then you steal it
Yeah.
back.
So it's not without very hard work.
Absolutely.
You have to
Absolutely.
be organised, you have to be intelligent,
You
And
have
yet-
to put the work in to get the
Yeah.
rewards, don't
and
you?
you have to be resilient.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's an amazing job, right?
And it's
Agree.
also about, it is. And you build a relationship, isn't it, over the period of time. So
Definitely.
you build that relationships with
Definitely.
So now we've
people in the industry.
persuaded sort of 20% of the working population that being a
Yeah,
mortgage
everyone
broker
wants to be a mortgage advisor. Yeah.
amazing.
Way to go.
Why 5 Star? Why would they come and work with us then? Let's work around. What is your favourite things about
I'm
this?
so biased. I'm not allowed to say.
Well, let's start with you. What do we do that not every mortgage broker can do?
So there is a lot of networks, as you said, of property or mortgage clubs, and everyone's kind of doing slightly different things. So we know everyone does buy-to-let and residential, but for instance, things that are important to me is what we do that other people can't do.
Yeah.
So, I mean, first thing that comes to mind, I can just do all the expat, for instance. So I've got clients in Saudi, just had people from Ecuador contacting me. So I've got British diplomats. We've got clients all over the world that would maybe someone else can't do. We can.
You can. So that's a good plus. Petra, what do you like about the proposition?
There's lots of things, but I'll start with the fact that I love that we are whole of market for mortgages, which means we can use almost every lender.
Yeah.
And this is a big advantage for clients. When they come to us, they will have a whole of market
Yeah.
advice.
So I think
Yeah.
most networks say they're whole of market, but I think under New Leaf, who we work under, generally, if there's a lender out there and they're new or you haven't seen him before, you just speak to Chris, right?
Exactly.
Yes,
We will
it's
have
the head of
access.
Compliance,
mortgages.
yeah.
And add them in, yeah.
And
Yes.
he'll go off and try and get them on panel for us. So there's only a very few lenders that we
Very
can't
few,
do.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
just the lenders that don't want to work with brokers, I'd
Yeah.
say.
But
Otherwise, we
but
can.
some whole of market propositions are quite limited, aren't they? You only have
Some
like
can be,
20,
yeah.
30 lenders, whereas we've got most of the lenders. I think.
And it's great because obviously it could be just that you've got that tricky case that no one else would do.
We'll do it, and you
And
need
then
that
how
particular-
frustrating it is that you know that there is a lender, but you can't access
You can't
that
access
lender.
them.
I mean,
Yeah.
And you solve the problem for that client, and that client then loves you. They think you're a mortgage guru, and they go and tell all their friends, don't they?
Yeah.
Yes.
but if you
Yeah.
didn't have access to that lender, then
You lose
Yeah.
It's the
the
client.
goodwill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
What about yourself, Tracy? What do you love about?
Well, following on from what Marta was saying about expats, I do a lot of, or we work a lot more in commercial mortgages as well these
Yep.
days. So you've got the ability to not only do residential, buy-to-let, that kind of thing, but we can expand out into things like commercial. So we
Yeah.
have access again to many commercial lenders out there. So we can do asset finance, we can do commercial mortgages, we can do quite specialised buy-to-let, so trickier buy-to-let. There's quite a breadth of things we can do in the commercial side.
And the difference between our proposition and maybe some other networks that you could go and work under or companies you can work under is that you deal directly with the lender, don't you?
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah,
In
we
fact,
have that relationship.
you get told
with them.
off, I understand, if you don't deal directly with them. because you can refer it on to a packager, and then they do most of the work for you. But you do it all
But
yourself.
actually, the lenders are they're great. On the commercial side, they're so willing. If you've got questions, you can go to any one of them, pick up the phone. You build that relationship with them, I think, when you're doing commercial mortgages, because you're dealing with them quite often. And they all have their own niches again. So a bit like with the residential lenders, they all have their own people that fit with them better than others potentially. So I think you build up such a good relationship with those commercial lenders that you can just pick up the phone, talk through a case, and if they can't do it, they generally will guide you into which commercial lender can.
Yeah.
And I love that.
So
It's such a shame to give it to a packager, isn't it? If you're a broker and you know you can do it yourself.
you can do it yourself.
Absolutely.
And I do the equity release in the team here, but
So you do mortgages, Mark?
I do mortgages for old people. This is very, very different. But that's another area that we can do. So keeping it all in-house, equity release, lifetime mortgages. So I love it, 'cause dealing with older people. But again, that means that you don't have to go off to a different company or refer it on. You can do it yourself if you want to. Marta?
I think what I really kind of keep repeating myself, isn't it? It's like what Petra and Tracy said, whole of the market proposition, maybe for insurance as well.
Yeah.
So obviously it's not just mortgage, it's the insurance, it's your life insurance, it's your critical illness, it's your family income benefit, it's your income protection. As you guys know, I'm income protection task force at 7 advisor this year. So obviously so proud to be a part of
Find Marta on
this
LinkedIn.
initiative. Yeah, absolutely.
Find the income protection task
force. Yeah, guys, this is really important. So income protection, not just income protection, but all the insurance, we whole of the market. So I think the fact that we not tie to one insurance company.
Because what you'll find in the industry, that some whole of market mortgage brokers might only work with one or a limited panel of insurance companies. But we're under New Leaf's guidance and direction, we go to all the smaller ones.
Look, all the friendly societies, for instance. Some people don't have access to it. MetLife,
that
accident
enables
plans,
you to get more affordable plans, which enables you to put a better product package together for the client. So you feel good, the client's better protected. You've probably earned a bit more as well because you've sold them a wider range of products.
Yeah.
Do you know
and some of
even-
those trickier clients as well, aren't there? Some of them that have got maybe health issues or something like that. Again, because you've got access to so many, you know there's people you can go to solve their
there
issues
is that
as well.
solution for every client.
Absolutely.
It's not that you phone someone and say, actually, do you know what? I probably could have done it with someone else, but I can't. I haven't got access to that. Or basically not even... I mean, I think a lot of those estate agent brokers, when they've only got one insurance company, how bad is that? You can't even offer your client...
No. But they'll tell the client,
This is
the best one.
Yeah, this is the best one.
It's the only one.
And commission loading as well, isn't it? It's like
commission loading,
a lot of networks that would...
So just to explain to any newer advisor that's
so Mark, do
reading
you want to
this,
explain that? Yeah.
So some networks that you might work under or companies you work under will have a smaller panel of insurance companies, and they'll go to these insurance companies and say, if you want to be on our panel, you've got to pay us more. So the insurance company will turn around and say, yeah, I'll pay you more, but the client's really going to pay for this because they're going to increase the cost for the client. So you might, just as an example, which is a really bad example, but you might have a life assurance to pay off a mortgage, and you'll go to a company that commission loads and say it's £12 a month, and then you come and see our team, and because we offer standard premiums, it would only be £10 a month.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
you
imagine
love it
if
when
it's
you-
imagine if it's £100 and yours like 85. It
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
makes all the difference. And the fact that you can
Definitely.
say to your clients, if you go online, do it yourself and come back to me and we compare the prices, we're going to have exactly the same price, but you're going to get all the advice, all the tailored solution that fit your profile, your needs, your family, your children. I mean, it's not just that person, it's the whole family that could be affected,
definitely.
isn't
it's
it?
not
So-
just solving the mortgage solution really brilliantly, it's being able to just protect that client and look after the family really
or
brilliantly.
your
Yeah.
income, Mark, as well. Remember, income protection.
Income protection as well.
Yeah. Because what are you going to do when you haven't got your income? How are you going to pay your mortgage?
Yeah, that's it. It's true. Absolutely. So Petra, any further things that you think stand out?
Sure, there's lots of them.
We're gonna be here till morning.
I love the support we get from the directors and from our compliance team.
Directors being me and Marta, right?
Oh, thanks, Petra.
It's very important to have that support, regardless of how many years experience you have. There's
Yeah.
always a question that you don't know the answer.
Absolutely, yeah.
And the fact that I can pick up the phone, I'll make the question and I'll get an answer as soon as possible, it's really important. Sometimes you can't just wait days
Yeah,
for feedback.
Ah.
Same with compliance. We need different documents for different cases, and it's really
sometimes you can't get them, so you need a different solution.
exactly, yeah. So the fact that we can get an answer, yes, you need to do this, you need to do that, is really, really important.
Yeah, so it's cool in there. I would say that as well, because if you call us and we don't know the answer, we're able to pick up the phone to New Leaf.
To New Leaf,
And
yeah.
if you can't get hold of us, you can pick up the phone to New Leaf and
Exactly,
get answers. So
yeah.
it's great support.
Yeah.
Tracy?
We'll go slightly the same kind of theory, but off at a tangent slightly, is actually the support of the team as well.
Yeah.
I think there's such a breadth of knowledge between the team of
Yeah.
advisors here at 5-Star, and much like you've said, picking up the phone to the directors, picking up the phone to New Leaf, picking up the phone to a fellow advisor. We've got a WhatsApp group.
Our WhatsApp community.
Any questions?
Yeah.
Any questions you've got, you can just ping on the WhatsApp group. Got this tricky case.
Yeah.
Can you think of anyone I can go to? And because there's so much knowledge in the team, someone will be able to come back and guide you on where you can go if you don't know. So I think that's huge.
On that note, when somebody approaches us to join the team, we are looking for people that are genuine helpers and do want to get
Yeah.
involved and sharing that, aren't we, Marta?
Yeah, do you know what? It's funny that how we're coming back to the beginning of that conversation when everyone said they joined 5-Star because they like helping people.
Yeah.
And genuinely, this is that kind of vibe across their team.
Positive,
That it's not just like I'm here to make money. I'm actually here to help the clients, but also help the team. And I think we're
Work
part
with
of
each
that
other.
community that we really want. I think
Yeah.
it is important to have that kind of the same. I think we're all on the same page.
And I think that goes a bit further as well with the network that we're with,
Yeah.
New Leaf. I mean,
interesting, isn't it? That
we get lots of other advisors from New Leaf calling us, asking us questions, and we call them and get help. And
Yeah.
So it's just
you don't
very
feel like
positive.
you're part of financial services and it's like a massive organization
Yeah,
when you
we
don't
don't
get
compete
support.
against each
yeah,
other,
it's
do we?
everyone's genuinely like happy to help.
Yeah, definitely.
So I would go on to say what I love about the way we've built the business is the proposition that presents itself to the client. So the website's really cool. It drives. We do individual pages for each advisor. So if you have a look at some of our website and look at the About Us and go onto the advisor pages, you'll see we've got individual pages for each advisor dependent on their favourite type of client. We've got the first appointment packs so that when you meet clients, you've got the brochures that are relevant to that particular type of client need.
So you've got first time buyer, home mover,
Yeah,
insurance.
Investors, all
Yeah.
of them, yeah.
It's great, isn't it?
remortgage.
People love those though.
Yeah. So you come across, even if you're brand new and you're worried, will I be professional? This whole proposition will support you and show that you're part of a professional organisation. What else is there?
I think I'm still thinking of that helping element, and admin comes to it as well. It's like
Oh,
a
yeah.
huge
Definitely.
part of
Fantastic,
our
yeah.
proposition, isn't it? Because
Yeah.
the admin team, as much as they want to be on the camera, girls, but they are amazing. The level of knowledge across the admin team
Definitely.
is
Agree.
just incredible. They sit in that office 9 till 5, 5 days a week, picking up the phones, talking to the clients. So basically, for most of the advisors, once you've submitted the application, then the admin team takes over.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, how incredible in terms of uploading documents.
So the
doing
benefit to that is that the advisor's time is then free to go and
Yeah.
find
Huge
new
time
customers,
saving.
research
Correct.
cases,
Yeah.
place cases, and from
Definitely.
while the advisor's getting on with that, the client's getting a really fabulous journey all the way
Yeah.
through
They
to
do,
completion.
they
Yeah.
do. And I think what's unique is the fact that each case got individual admin team allocated as well. So
Yeah.
it's not like you phone in the office and you have to go through like 20 people to get to your admin. Admin is allocated the girls keep the clients updated. They also deal with the solicitors, so if there's any issues or anything that they need from us, insurance to go on risk, they always there to help,
So
isn't it?
as a newer advisor then, somebody that's just sort of thinking, where should I go? What should I do? You do the mentoring matter with the newest advisors. So tell me, what's that program like? How do you support them?
So I think a lot of our advisors are either newly qualified or basically with their very little experience. So I think what's quite important is for us to have that time to give to the advisor. So I think two things that advisors worried about is like where I'm going to get my clients from, which we can solve.
Yep.
And also how I'm going to, I don't know what to do. I've just done a CMA, but I've never done a mortgage. It's like,
daunting,
like,
isn't it? Yeah.
how do I know how to even register with the lender or how to work out the affordability, how to submit the mortgage? So I think, do you know what? I always say there is no such a thing as stupid questions. I just love sitting with people and say, look, let's just do a couple of mortgages together, even if it takes 20 mortgages or whatever, just so they feel they are supported. So that's on provider's side, but also on our side we've got a system that you Mark build because you're techie.
So within our business we use HubSpot, which enables you to communicate with your clients. It keeps you updated when your clients' deals are coming to an end. It's very easy to if the rates are dropping, it's very easy to change the rates, isn't it? So.
And I think because it's a custom-made system, we can build it the way it suits everyone. I often email Mark and say, look, can you add this on? Can you add this on?
Yeah.
Or I think we're very open to any suggestion. The same with the admin team, isn't it? We had it from the admin feedback, what they would want.
Yeah.
The system to be able to do. So I think it is just that emotional, I'm going to say.
You're the emotional support.
Emotional support, yes.
And I'm more of the business support and
well,
this is what we're going to do to try and increase your business.
But as you said, you can build a website that is positioned in a way that you're going to get those leads.
Yeah.
We've got we've got book of clients as well that we're happy to for the new advisors to work. So it's so many ways of supporting new advisors, really.
Yeah. So there we go. So we've told everyone how amazing it is to be a mortgage broker and how amazing it is to be a mortgage broker at 5 Star Mortgages, because we're obviously quite biased. But there we go. So if you want to learn more about how to be a mortgage broker with 5 Star, then use our contact form and book a time in to speak to me and Marta, and we'll tell you more and we'll help you build a plan for success for yourself.